Hello, my name is Taylor Davis. You may have seen me on some of the videos for BMW Cleveland cars that we've sold on here on Cars and Bids. Today I'm actually selling one of my own personal cars. So while it's under the BMW Cleveland name, just because we already have the account set up, this is actually a personal car of mine. I do work for the dealership. My family owns BMW Cleveland as well as Jaguar Land Rover Solon. So obviously I had to have a Land Rover sort of in my own personal small collection. I also have an E46 M3, so just two cars really. But always grew up riding in Discoveries, loved Discoveries, had to have one, found this one in New Jersey on actually of all places Facebook Marketplace, which is where I also found my M3 randomly enough. So the reason I'm selling it is just because I don't drive it. I think I love the idea of having an off-road vehicle and a Discovery, but I'm more of a car person. I'll drive my M3 10 times out of 10, over an off-road vehicle, and I just don't have time to go off-roading, which is why I bought this vehicle in the first place. I did do some things to it, which I'll discuss, but wanted to do a walk-around video. As I've mentioned before, if you've watched any of the other videos, I like to do a walk-around, show you what I would want to see as a prospective bidder on this vehicle. So this vehicle is not perfect. Very few Discoveries are perfect, but this is a very clean, mostly rust-free. There's a tiny little bit of rust, which I'll show you, but it's a Arizona car, which you'll see there's a cool little Land Rover Phoenix sticker on it. And overall, it's a good car. It's mechanically sound. It's got a couple things, but I did just, take care of some things that were important to me, and we can sort of discuss that and do a quick walk around. So come with me. So this is a 1997 Discovery. So for those Land Rover people, it's a D1, Discovery 1. It's got the 3.9 liter Rover V8, which has its roots obviously back in the 60s. It's got the 4-speed automatic as well. The car runs and drives great. The motor is whisper quiet, and again, it is a actually far more usable car than I had first, thought. I didn't think I was going to be able to daily drive it, but it's perfectly daily drivable. So starting at the front, just to walk over any sort of imperfections, things I feel like people need to know. So this is actually an OEM Discovery bull bar, front bar, whatever you want to call it. You can actually see it had the Discovery sticker on it at one point. Just a little bit of the paint flaking. It feels completely solid. It's not rusting. I think it's just surface rust on that. Hella yellow lights, so I always keep the covers on, but they are fully functional. They do work, as you can see in the pictures. One of the things I had done, I had a Land Rover specialist work on this car probably about, 2-3 weeks ago. He cleaned up the wiring, so we made sure it was nice and neat back here. You have some minor rock chipping here. The paint on this car is probably, if I was going to keep it. Now, I bought it to off-road, so I was like, okay, this car will be perfect because it's silver. It's a paint that doesn't really scratch. Altai silver is kind of a rarer color, especially with the gray interior, which I found trying to source interior pieces is not easy to find. So, the paint is probably one thing I'd want to fix, but I got it for off-roading. So I was like, if it gets scratched, if it gets dinged, whatever, I'm not going to worry about it. And that's really what this car is for. The person buying this, it's got nice, tasteful, it's got a nice lift. It's got these mud terrains on it, which are great. It also has, you'll see skid plates and diff guards underneath and stuff. So it's ready to sort of attack anything. And I did minor off-roading in it, and it was a beast. I was very pleasantly surprised. So walking down the side here, the paint on this fender, this side of the hood, this door is good. This is what I wish the whole car looked like. Now, when we get to here, it almost looks like it's like brushed stainless steel. My detail guy and I spent hours trying to figure out, what is this? Because you can still feel there's clear. It's not like there's no clear. The clear is fading on the hood a little bit, but this is still clear coat. But it almost looks like, I can't even begin to understand what they tried to do. But this is how it looks. It doesn't look horrible by any means. People love this truck. People are always commenting on it whenever I'm driving it, but it's not perfect. The owner did also decide to have, the previous owner did also decide to have the roof painted white. Probably something I wouldn't have done, but it looks cool. It's okay. It's an okay paint job. I would probably get it fixed. Now, one big thing that we can talk about with this car is that when I bought the car, which anybody who's bought a car sight unseen, from New Jersey. The car showed up, both sunroofs are silicone shut. whether they were leaking and the guy just didn't want to deal with it, whatever. So that was important to me. I needed to have both sunroofs working, so that was one thing I did. It's got brand new sunroof cartridges, completely redone. I have the old glass as well, which will come with the car, so if anything ever happens, God forbid. But some of that silicone did kind of damage the surrounding area around the sunroof, which you'll be able to see in the photos. But as I'll show you, both sunroofs work perfectly now, and that was very important to me. I replaced both corner markers with Proline parts from Rovers North. They were just faded and they didn't look good, so I replaced those. Had to get the sticker. I don't know, I thought the sticker was cool. I don't know, maybe I'm a nerd, whatever. So looking at some of the rubber pieces and everything too, just over the years, just water spotting. Still got the security system sticker. Here you can see the rubber is definitely breaking a little bit. No leaking at all from any of the windows that I noticed. Walking around the back here, these are the OEM sort of, you know, brush guards, whatever, for the lights. They're in perfect shape. I mean, like I guess structurally, it's just, you know, the paint's starting to go on them. If I was gonna keep this car, I'd have them repainted. Everything looks good here. The bumper looks good. A little bit of surface rust right here. If we look underneath the car, and you can see I took a bunch of pictures, but pretty much surface rust, okay? You don't have anything leaking. Nothing is structural in terms of the rust. You got this rock guard back here. The frame rails look perfect. If we walk around here, got the Land Rover Phoenix sticker, like I was talking about. So this car is an Arizona car. See, and the paint here, it's still got clear, but it's just, I don't understand. I really don't. And I detailed for a long time, because you can see there's a gloss here, and water will bead right off it. I waxed it, and water beads off, but it just, I don't really understand. I don't really understand. So we do have this scratch. It's probably the biggest imperfection on the car, the biggest scratch. I'm assuming that happened when the guy was off-roading it, as he should have been. It looks like you have some overspray here from when they did the roof. I tried to get it off, wouldn't come off. Door handles all are good, function properly. A little bit of clear fading there. Again, this sort of brushed finish, if you want to call it. This is probably the worst area of paint on the entire car, okay? So you have the clear faded here, right? You see this sort of line that runs down here. And then the hood just has sun spotting and everything. I mean, that sun in Arizona is brutal. So I think that's what sort of is to blame for this. But other than that, you know, the bumpers and everything look sound. It's got these white steelies on it, which I love. Wouldn't change those for sure. Let's see what else. Alpine windows, all good, functional. And as you can see, has all the markings, so the triplex laminated glass. So I do believe the glass to be all original. Got it on the windshield too. Right here. Okay, so that sort of concludes the outside. Let's look back here as well. I do have 3 new wipers for the car I haven't put on yet. I have 2 front, obviously 2 front wipers and 1 rear. It's got the ladder as well, which I love. Okay, so back here, OEM Discovery floor mat. I didn't realize how heavy this thing was, by the way. Just ripping a little bit there. I didn't tape it. It was like that. The storage bins here. The seats do fold down as well. And then what I did actually is I had the subwoofer replaced. They were both cracked, so I actually had them replaced. He sourced them from another Discovery, and also actually replaced this storage bin was cracked. So can't find the gray interior parts, so he was like, is a black one okay? And I said, yeah, that's totally fine. Actually, we can look back here. I do believe the car had a pretty new headliner installed when I bought it. So it's really soft, feels nice, not sagging or anything like that. Looking in the back. Got OEM Discovery floor mats. The leather actually looks really good back here. Doors look good. Power windows work all the way around. This is the only area of rust on the body that I've been able to find. Right here. Just a tiny bit right there. That's it. None on any of the body panels. Look in the door jambs. I mean, it's pretty clean. Pretty clean in there. I mean, you know, these cars aren't going to be perfect. I wanted to get one that was nice, but not so nice, you know, that you know, I was going to be worried about off-roading it. One thing also I did, I had him secure this. This was sort of rattly, so he secured this. It looks like on the rearview mirror, the dimming fluid has leaked out. I really, you know, it's still usable. I didn't want to go ahead and replace that. Power seats work perfectly. Radio works great. Air conditioning blows cold. Like a seat warmers work. All I said rather, all four windows work. The sunroofs work. You also get these cool, you know, shades. Those are all functional. Let's look under the hood real quick. So, just gotta, the brush guard makes it difficult. So let's open this up here. Obviously still has the pin. Maybe in. Okay. So looking under here, I mean, it's not perfect, like I said, you know, but this is one of the best running Discos I've driven. My big concern is if you look in the valley pan, I mean, you can see it's got some sludge there. You know, definitely if I was going to keep this long term, would probably have that addressed, but for right now, the motor runs good, and I'm not as concerned about that right now. I mean, I'm not seeing any huge oil leaks or anything. It's just more of a seep rather, or a weep, whatever term you want to use. Here, I'm actually going to start it up. So like I said, it runs really smooth, really quiet, has good power, as much power as these are ever going to have. So like I said, you know, overall, the car is not perfect, I know that, but you know, it's a great driver, and as you'll see, I'll do a driving video. It's a great driver, turns heads. It's actually really enjoyable to drive, which I didn't think was going to be the case, but it really is. And I think a lot of that has to do with the seating position where you just hang your arm out. So that's probably enough for sort of the walk around of the outside of the vehicle. Let's get in and go for a drive.